Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar stresses on the role of community radios in countering fake news. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Bulletin says Nagas need to be self-reliant and not depend on others. Naga People's Front Legislature Party urges government to keep all returnees under strict observation. And Nagaland government reopens registration for financial assistance for citizens stranded outside, opting to stay back. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said that community radio is a community in itself and it is an agent of change. The ministry will come out with a plan to increase the number of such stations soon. Addressing listeners of all community radio stations through All India Radio News, Javadekar said government is eager to raise airtime for advertisements to 12 minutes from 7 minutes per hour on community radio stations to bring them at par with TV channels. On the key demand of community radio for broadcasting news from their platform, the minister assured that he will consider it. He urged the stations to play a key role in combating fake news menace by verifying it through local sources. He invited stations to share it with All India Radio so that the reach of the truth can be amplified. He stressed on the crucial role of community radios in countering fake news by giving the correct information verified at a local level. Exhorting people to keep up their fight against coronavirus, the minister stressed on the 4 steps to keep themselves safe by staying at home, frequent washing of hands, wearing face mask in public, and maintaining social distancing. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Bulletin said a window of opportunity has opened for the Nagas through COVID-19 pandemic crisis to become self-reliant from consumer to producer state. Interacting with the public of Vojero Range yesterday, Bulletin said the state economy has been hit by COVID-19 pandemic and people have to learn how to cultivate land and take up farming as profession to sustain ourselves. Stating that agriculture is the most important sector of the state, Bulletin said the state is in the process of establishing cold storage in all the 11 districts for marketing the surplus production within and outside the state. On livestock production, he said, due to absence of large-scale production in Nagaland, the state annually spends 250 crore rupees outside the state. In this, the Deputy Chief Minister said, if the youths of the state take up the opportunity for production, it will minimize the state job crisis. Naga People's Front Legislature Party has suggested the government to take the testing of the returnees with all seriousness and keep them under strict observation, and added that they should not be sent to their respective districts before ascertaining that they are negative. In a statement issued by the party today, it appealed the Chief Minister to take serious note of the sufferings of stranded people and arrange appropriate mode of transportation at the earliest. Stating that the neighboring states are doing commendable jobs to bring back the stranded people, the party said, our state lacks vision and will. The party further said that funds received for COVID-19 from the central government needs to be used judiciously while maintaining transparency and accountability. The returnees of Kohima, Longling, Mokuchung, Tuensang, Woka, Pek, Kifere, and Zulupada districts who came from special Shramik train from Chennai to Dimapur reached Indira Gandhi Stadium, Kohima today at 1:49 a.m. A total of 399 returnees were received by Joint Secretary Border Affairs and Convener of Reception Center, Chamitang Lotha, ADC Kohima, and Co-Convener of Reception Center, Litrongla Tongpi Rutsa, CMO Kohima, Dr. Vezo Kula and her medical team, and other district and police officials at the IG Stadium. On their arrival, the returnees were made to wash their hands, set up at the entry point, followed by thermal screening. Data entry and other necessary safety protocols were conducted by the management team. Later, they were escorted to Merema Quarantine Center. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. Nagaland government has reopened their registration for one-time financial assistance of 10,000 rupees to all citizens stranded outside the state who have opted to stay back. The registration began today from 10 a.m. and will come to a close on 26th of this month at 10 a.m. Those who have already availed the benefit are not eligible to reapply. The state government said those who opt to avail the benefit will not be eligible for government-arranged transports for stranded returnees. For registration, citizens stranded outside may log in to the official website imstranded.nagaland.gov.in. Besides, the applicants need to submit required documents issued by the state government, passbook or bank statement, identity card by the Government of India in applicant's name. For students, identity card issued by the institution, and for patients, medical documents issued by hospital shall be required. The state government further cautioned all applicants that fraudulent practices to avail the benefit will be strictly dealt with under relevant sections of law. Union Health Ministry said the COVID-19 cases in India saw the biggest spike for the second consecutive day today, with 6,654 new infections in the last 24 hours, taking the tally to over 1.25 lakh, while the toll rose to 3,720 after 137 more deaths. According to the Ministry Bulletin, the active case of the COVID-19 rose to 69,597, while 51,783 people have recovered and a patient has migrated. Health Ministry officials said around 41.39% patients have recovered so far. In Nagaland, the total number of samples sent for testing is 1,035 and the total number of negative results is 988. The number of samples sent after 3 p.m. yesterday till 3 p.m. today is 27, while the number of sample results awaited is 47. Meanwhile, the number of samples tested negative by TrueNat is 27. The number of persons presently at facility quarantine is 1,809, while total screened today is 3,986. In Assam, the number of active COVID-19 cases has gone up to 258. In a tweet, Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said that 7 people have been found positive today and all of them are already in hospitals, while 54 persons have recovered so far. Assam yesterday witnessed the biggest single-day spike in COVID-19 cases, with 49 people testing positive. Meanwhile, in Manipur, a 26-year-old man who returned from Chennai recently by a special train tested positive for COVID-19, taking the total number of active cases in the state to 25. Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that consuming the anti-malarial drug hydrochloroquine reduces the chances of getting infected with coronavirus. ICMR has issued a revised advisory on the use of hydrochloroquine. The joint monitoring group, including experts from top research bodies and hospitals, reviewed the prophylactic use of hydrochloroquine in the context of expanding it to healthcare and other frontline workers deployed in non-COVID and COVID areas, respectively. The National Task Force, constituted by ICMR for COVID-19, also reviewed the use of hydrochloroquine for prophylaxis of coronavirus infection for high-risk population based on the emerging evidence on its safety and efficacy. Air India has started booking for domestic flights. Civil Aviation Ministry has said that a minimum and maximum fare for 3 months has been set for the domestic flight services. After a cap of 2 months, air travel in the country will reopen on Monday. Air India will reoperate a total of 8,428 flights each week for the next 3 months, from 25th of this month to 25th August. The government has allowed 1/3 of the operations beginning Monday and has set limits on fares which will be applicable for 3 months. The fares are capped according to 7 sector classes which have been divided according to approximate flight times. Under the new airfare regulations, the cheapest domestic flight ticket will be for 2,000 rupees, while the most expensive will be for 18,600 rupees. And now to the news, here are the main points again. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar stresses on the role of community radios in countering fake news. Deputy Chief Minister Y. Bulletin says Nagas need to be self-reliant and not depend on others. Naga People's Front Legislative Party urges government to keep all returnees under strict observation. And Nagaland government reopens registration for financial assistance for citizens stranded outside, opting to stay back. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.